Hi, welcome to What's Going On. I'm your host, Colin Jobe. We have a really interesting show for you today. We have the one and only Lee Romanov, formerly of InsuranceHotline.com, CP24, the Toronto Star, and now with the Globe Mail. So Lee's going to tell us about how Insurance Hotlines came about, and also her latest venture, IncomeActivator.com. Right?
That's correct.
That's okay. I'm excited. I want to hear about that. I'm really curious about that, and I'm sure the listeners are too. If you want to learn how to make money online, tune in, folks. Pay attention. Lee, once again, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much.
Good to have you. Good to have you. You know, you started Insurance Hotline many years ago.
That's right. I was one of the first people in Canada to have their own website.
Canada?
In Canada.
Really?
Yes. It was way back in the 90s, early 90s. And what is interesting is that if you take an existing business that operates, that makes money, you can apply it to the internet and it will make money. A lot of people, what they do is they take businesses that would not normally work in the real world and try to make it work online.
So you're saying do the opposite?
Start with the opposite, yes. Have a business that works in the real world, and if it works in the real world, then it will work online. It'll even work better online.
It's a natural gravitation.
That's right.
It's a natural progression into...
That's right. You know, you have an office. You either have an office with a postal or a zip code, or you have an office with a URL or website address.
Right.
But an office is an office. The best thing about the internet is the fact that your online office doesn't cost as much. You can communicate with your clients more readily. All kinds of advantages. But to make money online, you need a business that would live and exist in the real world, being like a normal business if there wasn't an internet. Interesting.
I'm good stuff. I can hardly wait as we delve into it. Let's touch on Insurance Hotline again for a minute. I've personally looked at our website on numerous occasions. Thought it was always fascinating, and I always wondered, how did you manage to get all the different companies to agree to link up to your website?
I bought their database.
You bought their database?
It was available, like for any other insurance broker or agent. You can go in and you can buy a rating database. So I bought it.
Oh, okay. It's that simple.
Nothing confusing, nothing complicated. There are 5,000 agents or brokers in Ontario. They had access to the same information, but they chose just to quote people the number of companies they deal with, it because an insurance broker only deals with a handful of companies, instead of leaving it open to people to find the lowest rate. You see, if they find the lowest rate and that broker didn't represent that company, they would lose a business.
I see. Okay. So it was a business decision for a lot of these guys.
That's right. Business decision. I'm only going to quote the companies that
I'm affiliated
with. Yeah.
So you expanded that. You basically blew it out of the water.
Well, that's another key with making money online in business. If you have good information to provide the consumer or the visitor, they will come and get that good information. Now, if you can create a back end where you can give people good information that's free, and then take it and deliver it to a person that can process that good information, in this case it was an insurance agent or broker, then they would pay you for the referral.
Oh, really?
So there you go. You've got hundreds and thousands of people flocking to your website for good information, and you're giving it to them. The next step is, okay, now I know the lowest insurance rate. Now, how do I get the insurance policy? And then you just do a soft pass. My soft pass was every time I referred, I would get a flat fee of $5, $10, $15.
Interesting.
Yes.
With that website, that could be $5, $10, $15, $20.
Oh yeah,
several times a day potentially.
Oh yeah, thousands of dollars a day. On average, I do $2,000 to $4,000 a day.
Really?
Yeah.
A day.
A day. Yeah. So you build up your visitor traffic based on what they're searching for online. You know what they're searching for online. You can go to Google Keyword Tool. You can find out what they're searching for online. you focus your website on that search so that you grab those people, they follow into your funnel, and as long as you have a revenue stream in mind whereby you give free information and you charge the business, you can make a fortune.
Wow. Wow. All online.
All online, yes.
So potentially someone could be at home in their pajamas, typing away on their laptop, and nowadays even their tablet.
Or they could be dressed up to the nines. It doesn't really
doesn't matter.
Again, and you think, you go back to, again, making money online. Google is a very similar model. They probably,
really?
They copied my model.
Google copied your model.
Well, they had to. I was around before Google was. So anyway, Google also gives people free information. You go to Google and you search for
whatever you're looking for.
And Google serves up free information. Then you go on to Google's page, and there are companies that have paid for ads, and Google's model is, well, if you click on the company that's paid for an ad, Google gets paid. So again, free information to the consumer. Corporations pay at the back end because those people that are running Google ads want those visitors to their website. Again, free information to the consumer.
But Lee, it all sounds so simple. I mean, there must be more to it than that. Am I missing something here? Is there something you're not telling me? Like, it seems...
No, it's a model that you have to understand. Let's say professionals, lawyers, okay? They're important people. They're busy. They do a lot of important things. Insurance brokers, they're busy. They do a lot of important things. They don't have the time to create a website that will draw consumers in to give them free information. But if you can, get involved in a field, you don't have to be an expert at it. You just have to be knowledgeable about it. For instance, I had back surgery a while back. No pun intended. Okay. So I'm not a doctor, okay? But I could start up a website that tells about back surgery because I went through all the processes of calling, doctors and online and everything. So I know about back surgery, let me tell you.
You become an expert.
I become an expert, or maybe a consumer expert. Now, people could come into my website about back surgery, say, and they would get the free information, and then I could do a soft pass to the surgeons that I used, the beds that you sleep with, the exercise equipment, all those professionals.
So it's like a referral, basically.
That's right, but, it's a better referral than for that surgeon to run an ad or for that.
Because the person's already they're looking for that product. They're looking for that service.
They're looking for that service. They're looking for that product. And, if you run a newspaper ad,
it's pretty much random.
Yeah, and you may never get a call. But an actual referral, you've got somebody. Whether in Google's sense it's a per-click referral, that we timed it perfectly, didn't we? A per-click referral, or a soft referral where you give the person's name, email address, and information that they're searching for.
Wow. It sounds almost as if the average person could do this.
Well, if the average person knew the process, they could. And as I said, you can be an expert in any field. When I started promoting insurance, I wasn't an insurance agent, broker, or worked for a company. All I knew was that there were car insurance rates out there. The rates were vastly different. It's something that the consumer should know who has the lowest car insurance rates. I knew that the insurance policy, every insurance company sold the exact same insurance policy because it's a standard,
industry standard.
Yes, industry standard. So the only difference was the rate.
Right. And the rates are significant.
Hundreds and thousands of dollars difference.
I mean, I've tried calling around, and you're only able to call 2 or 3 places.
Yeah.
But with your site, 30 places, that's a significant difference.
That's right. And it just gives the lowest rate, and then you go and go through the process. So I spent 15 years working with that insurance company. But through the 15 years, I learned how to become an internet expert.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, you know, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want you to tell us about your internet expertise, and we're going to talk about your latest venture.
Okay.
Why we should all take a look at it, because I've seen it. It looks pretty interesting.
Okay.
And I'm just dying to hear this information. So, folks, we're going to take a minute. We'll be right back right here on What's Going On.